Well, hey there, friendships. Welcome back to Curtis' Corner. If you're new here, hi, I'm Curtis. This is my corner, and on today's Film Friday, we're going to be talking about The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz. Before I jump into things, though, I do want to say I am sorry it's been a while. I have not been in the right mindset. I've had no motivation, no inspiration to do literally anything. I've been wanting to, but at the same time, every time it was time for me to actually go and do something, it was just a no for me. So I'm forcing myself to do this. Not that it's going to be bad, because I am actually excited to be talking about this, but it's also going to push me into making more and more and more things yet again. So with that being said, we're going to roll the intro. We're going to dive right in. And this will be my spoiler-free review on The Batman. So like I said, we are talking about The Batman. I'm going to do a spoiler-free review, so you don't have to worry about hearing any spoilers from me. I know there's a lot of people who will do just spoiler reviews, sometimes who will just do non-spoiler reviews like I'm trying to do, and some who will do kind of both. They'll release a spoiler-free one and then a spoiler one for those who want to really dive in and discuss it more. If you do want a spoiler review on it, leave some comments down below. But as for this video, this is my spoiler-free one, so you can buckle in and rest assured that nothing will be ruined that you haven't seen in the trailer already. Robert Pattinson is now the, fifth person to don the cowl of the Caped Crusader. Obviously, we had the classic of Adam West, then we had Michael Keaton, we had Val Kilmer, we had George Clooney, we had, he would be the sixth, because we also had Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, and now Robert Pattinson. 7? I can't count. He is the seventh person. So I will say, do not expect a giant character arc for Batman himself. They are obviously delving more into his more detective side rather than his crime-fighting side on this first installment of, I guess, this brand new franchise that they're going to develop, which I'm thoroughly excited for. I will be completely honest, when I saw the trailer, the initial trailer, even the subsequent trailers, I was not super invested in really wanting to kind of see this. Most times when I see a trailer for a superhero movie, and especially Batman because he's my favorite DC hero, I'm usually pretty excited, but this one, it didn't get my excitement up in the trailers. After watching this film, though, and during watching, it was so fantastic to watch. The visuals were phenomenal. The acting, phenomenal. The stunts and choreography, especially the fight choreography, were fantastic. I think it is the best choreographed fight scenes in any Batman movie, like, ever. He can turn without having to do the Batman turn where he can't actually move his neck. He's able to fight, and he fights better than Christian Bale as Batman. Whereas that one was very kind of clunky. It seemed like he was always like stumbling over himself, and it was always the editing that was like a very quick cut. The thing that differs, because a lot of people are now comparing the Dark Knight trilogy to, or even just specifically The Dark Knight, to The Batman, is The Dark Knight is the perfect representation of Bruce Wayne, whereas The Batman is the perfect representation of Batman. Robert Pattinson, basically this movie that is almost 3 hours long, you're basically only getting like, I want to say, I'm going to cap it at like 40 to 45 minutes of just Bruce Wayne. Otherwise, you are stuck with Batman as Batman, and that is it. Even when he's Bruce Wayne and cowl is off, he is still Batman. There is no Bruce Wayne, basically, in this film. Not to say that he's going by a different name. He's still Bruce Wayne, but he's not like the playboy kind of cocky attitude, but like will be there to help people as Bruce Wayne, kind of Bruce Wayne, that we've seen in past iterations. This is very much a darker, it's only year 2 that he's been doing Batman, and fighting crime and all that stuff. So to see how kind of like edgy he is and really fighting to control himself and understand how to deal with a situation, it's very interesting to see them do a film like this and creating a film that's so dark in tone. I would even argue to say that it's even darker than the Dark Knight's tone, because in the Dark Knight you had some funny moments where, you know, you have the Joker who will blow up the hospital, but it doesn't quite blow up. So he turns around, presses the button a bunch of times, and he gets freaked out and runs away when it actually does blow up. Or when he does his magic trick with the pencil and he smashes the guy's head through. Those are visibly funny moments in the film. Whereas in the Batman, there's not really in-your-face funny moments. There is tongue-in-cheek kind of funny moments. There's play on words to make it seem like characters in this film have a sense of humor, and only if you kind of really listen and understand what's kind of going on, you're going to get the jokes. And that's what makes this one funny, even though no one's actually making into like a big joke where you laugh out loud. So I thought that was very smart of Matt Reeves to do when he was directing this film. On top of that, going performance-wise, like I said, Robert Pattinson, fantastic in this role. I can't wait to see what he does more into the future. And Zoe Kravitz, I found she was all right. Like, she did a good job with the script she was given. Costume-wise, I didn't really like the Catwoman costume, personally, only because it's giving me... Everyone has these problems with the new Flash costume where it's like his helmet is one kind of texture and his suit is a different kind of texture. I don't like the two textures of Catwoman's suit, where her entire suit is like leather or latex, but her cowl mask thing that she wears is very much just a wool kind of beanie that has eye holes cut into it, and it just kind of crosses over. I don't like that because it also doesn't really give her the little cat ears that I was really hoping that she would have as Catwoman. Maybe if we see her again, maybe she'll get a bit of an upgrade. Hopefully something that will suit and flow a little better. But that being said, she wasn't a horrible character in this film at all, and she did play a vital role in the telling of this story. Colin Farrell completely disappears in his role of the Penguin. You don't even recognize him. He is completely different from what we've seen him do in the past. And I'm excited to see the show that HBO and Warner Brothers have greenlit about the Penguin that's going to be coming out, and it's apparently supposed to be rated R, so I'm very much looking forward to that. I will say, as underused as his character was, he did a phenomenal job showcasing what his character is capable of in the few scenes that he was in. Speaking of people who are showcasing what their character can do, Paul Dano as the Riddler is honestly probably one of the most terrifying iterations of this character. I have a standard of what these kind of characters need to be based off of the cartoons that I used to watch, based off of past films. My favorite Riddler that we've seen personally is Jim Carrey, because I grew up watching Batman Forever and that whole era of Batman. So it does hold a soft spot for me. But Jim Carrey to me was like a fantastic, very comedic version of the Riddler. This version is not that at all, and he's actually terrifying. So this iteration of this character completely changes how to view this film. It is no longer basically a superhero film. It is very much a like film noir detective, but also thriller at the same time. All of these mushed into one. And you actually kind of forget that it is a superhero movie because of how dark the tone is and the story that they're telling with it. The only reason why you remember it's a superhero movie is because you see Batman. That's it. Otherwise, you would have no idea that this is a superhero movie. I understand what they were going for as well with the Riddler's design, how he's very much like a proto Riddler, where it's not actually who he is yet. And I think as this character develops and grows, he's going to become the Riddler that we all kind of know and really delve more into like the jokey Ridley side. He does obviously do that a little bit in this, but it's more sinister and dark in tone, whereas we're used to the more playful kind of Riddler. And I think because of how it ends, we may see more in the future of his character development becoming a more playful but yet still sinister type of Riddler. And I am very much looking forward to that. As for possible sequels, we don't really know. We're most likely going to get some sequels to this film. And everyone is already hypothesizing, especially with the ending of the film, who is teased in it. I do agree, though, that with that scene, I don't think this character is going to be the next villain of the next film. I think if they are going to be, they need to have the growth and the chance to kind of shine and prove themselves as a main character first, within maybe like a spin-off TV show or as a side character in another film, having a very small role but still prominent enough to kind of show some growth to become the main villain of maybe the third or the fourth, if they choose to do that many, which I do hope that they do. So one final thing as well that I want to say, the relationship between Batman and Catwoman was very well done as well. You do see the inner struggle that they have with each other about wanting to trust each other, wanting to work together, wanting to fight each other. So you do see all of that, but then you also see the love that they have for each other and how they do care for each other all at the same time, even without knowing each other for as long as maybe we're all used to. So I do like the chemistry between them. It did seem genuine, it did seem real, and I thought they worked really, really well together. So with all that being said, I'm going to be giving the Batman an A-. Obviously, there's still some flaws with this film, but virtually it is pretty damn near perfect. It is still great. It is very enjoyable. And if you like a darker toned Batman with a little more of an edgier, scarier side, you're going to enjoy it a lot. If you enjoy my review on the Batman, don't forget to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to my channel because I put out weekly videos. Hopefully we'll be staying on that, and hit that notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video, because if you don't, how else are you going to know when I post a video? You won't, so do it. I'm now going to enjoy my March break, and hopefully if you are also on March break, you enjoy it too, but I will see you on the next video. But until then, goodbye, friendships.